Greetings, and welcome to another special episode of Out the Box Talks. I am your host, Krill. I want to shout out to all of our viewers, all of our listeners for staying connected with us. My apologies, we didn't put out an episode last week. I took a little break, but I hope y'all did catch that episode that we had with our panel where we talked about Nas's King's Disease album that we did live on the platform last Saturday. But we are back with a brand new episode. We are featuring another artist tonight. And I'm so excited because at the time of this recording, it is the birthday of hip hop, right? Hip hop is celebrating its 48th birthday. And the guest that I'm going to have on the show tonight embody what I feel hip hop stands for, right? That inspiring, thought-provoking music with substance. And so I'm just really excited to build with them today. Again, like I said, this is episode 82. So we are, going well along the way. Like I said, before the end of the year, I should get to the 100th episode, and I'm really excited about that process. So thank you to all of our listeners and viewers for rocking with me. Before I jump into the interview, I just want to shout out a few things in regards to Out the Box. So remember, you can go to our website, outtheboxmedia.com, to get acquainted with all of our previous episodes. You just click that podcast shows tab or the TV shows tab at the top of the website, and you can get acquainted. You can also subscribe for free on that website so you can get updated and notified when we release new episodes. Also, we do have a merch page where you can support us and cop some of the Out the Box tees, the Out the Box shirts. We got like coffee mugs up there for Out the Box Talks. A lot of stuff, right? That you can support the platform with the merch. So you can go to that website link, outtheboxmedia.bigcartel.com. We also have our Patreon page that you can go to get access to exclusive interview clips that are not available for the public. It's only for the Patreon subscribers. So, and it's a very, very reasonable fee. It's only like $2 a month. So, if you like what we've been doing with this platform and showcasing a lot of these great artists, this is another way that you can support and get some exclusive content. Also, if you want to donate, you can send donations to PayPal at paypal.me/outtheboxmedia. These links will be in the description of this episode, whether you're watching on YouTube or, via the audio podcast platforms. Also, you can send donations to Cash App at #OutTheBoxRep. And remember that the show is also available on audio platforms like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple. You can also find the high quality audio of the show there. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can find it there. And if you're listening there, you can also catch the video of the episode on Out the Box TV on YouTube. All right. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, make sure I remind folks any amount of support that you give helps. Even the littlest amount I appreciate. Right. And you can support in multiple ways, whether you donate, you pick up merch, or you join up with the Patreon page. All right. So without further ado, I don't want to keep too much time. Like I said, I have some guests on the show. They're actually hailing from Chicago. It is a hip-hop duo representing the city of Chicago. They put out a brand new album called Dream Still Inspire. And this album is actually produced entirely by Kanye West. And like, just on first listen of the project, I was feeling it. Like, it really reminded me of like that vintage boom bap Kanye West, and just their lyrics really shined out, right? Like in terms of the substance that they bring with their lyrics. So I'm really excited to build with them tonight. They have been a group for years now. Like they've been putting out music since 2001. And I think prior to this release, they put out a mixtape, a series of mixtapes in 2005. Then I found out they disbanded and came back together as a group. So like I said, so much to build with them about tonight. But Without further ado, I just want to welcome to our Out the Box Talks listening and viewing audience, my brother, Old School Ice Cree, and my sister, EP the Hellcat, also known as Abstract Mindstate. Welcome to Out the Box Talks.
Yo, yo. What's good, Krill?
What's
going
good?
on?
It's a pleasure. How y'all feeling?
All right. Glad to be here.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling great.
Indeed. I know I was a little long with my intro, but I just had to give it up to y'all for what y'all represent as far as hip hop is concerned. So we got a lot to talk about. Definitely we're gonna get into this new album and all the elements that come with this project. But before we do that, I want y'all to just give the listeners out there a little history on how each of you guys got started with pursuing music. Like, what made y'all want to take music seriously?
For me, Krill, what started like years ago, like maybe 8th grade, I just started writing. And I wasn't really serious about it. Like it was just something I used for therapy, basically. I didn't know it was therapy at the time, but journaling turned into poetry, and poetry turned into writing raps and things of that nature. And I still wasn't serious about it, even during high school. When I met Old School at Jackson State, that's when I started feeling like this is something that could become lucrative and be a career, because I love doing it, and I was getting praise for the way that I did do it from Old School, members of the stew, and so like it was something that I was doing for catharsis, right? But it turned into something that I love doing outside of that, and now fast forward, like so.
Wow, it's beautiful when it can turn into something that fulfills you and you like really
Absolutely.
enjoy it. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Ice Cree. You give us your story.
Yeah, man. I started in 6th grade. Actually, I was a break dancer. I was popping and breaking, and when I got introduced to hip hop by a cousin of mine from Dayton, Ohio, and he brought Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 record to me. Changed my life. Let's just say from that point on, that whole rap thing and just wanting to put those words together over those beats just kind of consumed my body, because I grew up next to my mom listening to music, my whole life anyway. That was more R&B, but it was just the rhythms, man. So when I heard the drums of hip hop, it just kind of sucked me in, and I've been riding that thing since,
Beautiful, beautiful. Can y'all tell the people how y'all came together as a group and what made this thing called Abstract Mindstate even work?
We actually met at Jackson State. Although both of us are from Chicago, we didn't know each other here in Chicago. Old School is from out south, and I'm from out west. And it's to like capsulize it all. We were on our way home for a Christmas break. We were at the Amtrak, and I noticed when Old School and Lee Majors walked up. That's his first cousin, who's also our manager. They walked up, and I'm sitting in the depot, and I'm looking, and I see their bags, right, Creel, and I'm like, I could see through the bags. I could see Bacardi. I could see all this liquor, right? So I'm looking. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't bring no liquor. And I kind of said it out loud, and that's when Lee Majors was like, "You don't have no liquor. Like, we got you." Like, mind you, didn't even see them on the yard at Jackson State. That's what on the campus was called. I didn't meet them on the yard. They didn't meet me on the yard or anything, but like the liquor brought us together, because I was like, man, I don't have nothing to drink, and Lee Majors was like, you don't have nothing to drink, and he opened this bag or whatever, and he was like, oh, we got you, and then hey, the rest is history.
Wow. That's interesting, how a bottle of liquor is able to
several bottles, Quill. Several bottles.
Well, look, those bottles. So let's take it from there. So we get on the train, And we when you ride on the Amtrak, you have the train has to ride for, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 minutes until things get flowing, and then they open the bar car. Now the bar car is kind of a, it's a BYOB thing. You can bring your own bottle, you can buy stuff that they have there, but most of the college students, we have bags of our own stuff. We don't really purchase the stuff on the train. So bottom line is, once you're in the bar car, it's like a party. So everybody is in the bar car. We got the cards going, the spade games over here. You got the table where everybody's just kicking it. Now we got a table where we got a radio. We kind of like, playing hip hop and all that, and we grooving, and everybody's just kind of having fun. And I start, I was the MC, everybody knew. So I just started freestyling over some music, and just had it going, and had the car rocking for a minute. And then out of the blue, EP, without us even having, she's sipping with us, and she's the new homie, had no idea she had rhymes. Wow. Out of just the beats, she just started spitting. And the whole car goes crazy, including me and Lee Majors. And we like, yo, because you hear how she rap. And we was like, yo, you are dope. And she was like, yeah, and that led to her telling me, she never like really been in a real studio or anything, but I recorded one little demo, and I was like, yo, man, you got to meet my crew. At the time, it was called the Peace Posse, and it turned into a thing where I was trying to get her down with our crew, and I want to introduce her to everybody. And that was the beginning of the friendship, the music that, brought us to the liquor, brought us together. The liquor brought us together. The music bonded it. Yeah. The friendship developed after that,
Wow. That's beautiful. Yeah. Like I was watching a video where they would like a promo video you guys have up where I forget who the person was, but they were saying that you guys are like the first female male hip hop duo out of Chicago. And I'm just like, I not even knowing about y'all prior to this, like that even blows my mind. Like what was that like being able to
first of all, Creel, we are the first male female duo, period.
In hip hop, period. In hip hop, period. In 48 years, we are the first female
48 years. Like there has not been any more.
This has never happened in hip hop. Think about it. This has never happened.
I gotta give you applause for that.
Yeah, man.
Amazing. Like and it's you never really, as a fan of hip hop, I don't really think in those kinds of like terms, like but when it's brought to the forefront, like it's dope, like to really hear it. Like first in period, like wow, man. Like how, like did y'all face any type of like obstacles coming out in that, like as a duo like that, like female male duo first, you know what I'm saying? Like
no, nothing besides them early on not really wanting to loving it, but not knowing what to do with it, not letting us in. They loved it. We always, I can honestly say we consistently were loved. Our music was something record labels and everybody loved, but we knew they were scared. They didn't know what to do because it was just
we actually old school. Remember, we had a couple of labels to say that. Like we don't know where to put y'all.
Yeah, we don't know where.
This is dope. We love it, but we don't know where to put y'all.
But I think it would be like if you're thinking ahead, you could be like, "Yo, this is the first." Like, this is the first representing male and female, and it's dope. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. I think nowadays people might be a little bit more open to that mindset. But yeah, man, big ups to y'all to be able to just break through even with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
So as I understand, you all have previously been retired, and it's been like 15 years, since, is it 16 now? 16 years since y'all disbanded. At 40 plus years, which is, what made y'all say, let's give this group another try?
Well, it did nothing make us say it. What made Ye say it?
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't say it. We didn't say it. This was all at his behest. Like this was not our idea. It was like, in fact, it took some serious convincing to both of us. Yeah. You know what I mean? For both of us from him. Yeah. Like old school had to be convinced by him, and then old school had to convince me. So, right.
Yeah, it was serious because I mean that just wasn't something that was on our radar at the time, you know. And he kind of hit me with the look away jab, you know, and just threw it out there. And I'm like, whoa, what are you saying? You know, I totally didn't believe him. I totally didn't believe him when he told me he wanted us to represent YZY Sound. And, you know, this was during the creative conversation early in the morning where I thought we were about to talk about other artists that he wanted to represent the brand because he put it out there as a question. He said, man, you know who I want to represent YZY Sound, you know? And I'm like, okay, who? Because I'm an A&R, you know, I'm an A&R with, you know, with the label and everything, at Good Music at the time, you know, and YZY Sound was a new platform, you know, it wasn't anything. This was what he wanted to represent this new brand. And when he said our name, I was like, what? Like,
right. Yeah, I remember hearing you say in the video that you got a call from him like 6 a.m. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, you know, and you said so he wanted to sign, you know, Abstract Mindstate and kind of bring the group back. And you were like, you know, what does the world, you know, want to hear with like, you know, some 40-year-old rappers, right? And he was like, that's exactly what they're ready for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, what was it that won you over in him talking to you?
You know, and EP, like Kanye is the ultimate visionary, right? He's a guy that ever since I've known him, we've been friends for 21 or 22 years now. And just think about the Kanye you guys know, right? So you know, the Kanye you guys know, y'all just seen him do everything. Well, imagine the Kanye I know, I see him talk about it and then do it.
Right.
And so far, every single thing he said has come to pass.
And it works.
And it works. You know what I'm saying? So when seriously, in the trailer, what you're talking about is the trailer to our documentary, We Paid Let Us In, The Legend of Abstract Mindstate. So on that trailer, I said, well, you know, you think the world is ready for some 47-year-old rappers? And
right.
Like, that's exactly what they're ready for. You know, the world needs Abstract Mindstate. Y'all are going to heal people and save lives. Now, if anybody, it doesn't take a friend. The world sees Kanye's passion. Everybody does. Everybody has seen how passionate he is. So imagine now back up and imagine it being people like us who actually are friends with him, know him, and then I'm very close with him. And I'm just like, I had to think about what he said, you know, y'all can heal people and save lives. And EP and I, we always wanted to change things through our music. That was something that was like the kind of like the inspiration.
It's always been the goal.
Yeah, it's always been the goal to change things with our music. So to hear the biggest, brightest, most disruptive in the game say that, you gotta at least think about it, you know.
Word. And as you're saying this, because EP said then you needed to convince her. So I'm like, yeah. Was that not enough to convince EP? Like, what was that conversation like?
So I don't even remember. Like, so I guess when old school got off this call or whatever, when you got to tell them, Gree, when you got off the phone, what was the words? You was like, you want me to call EP?
Yeah. I said, you want, so he said, listen, you know, after he said you all are going to heal people and change lives, he said, man, I want to get EP out here right now. I said, so you want me to call the travel agent and get her on the plane right now? He said, right now. I said, right now. He said, right now. I said, right now. He said, well, not while I'm on the phone, nigga. Hang up and give her a call. And so I hung up and I called EP and what you want, man? And she was like, man, just get to work. What's up? You know?
And I take it from there. I'm like, I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm getting ready to go to work and this, that. And he's like, man, Kanye wanted, I just got off the phone. Kanye want to put Abstract Mindstate back out. Listen, I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's too early in the morning for this shit. Like Creole. I was like, boy, go on with this shit, you know. And he was like, real stern and solemn. Like,
wow.
No, I'm serious. Kanye want to put Abstract Mindstate out. And I'm like, oh my God. So back then I'm sitting up like, oh, you know what I mean? But like, how long, Gree? 16, 17, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what is he on? Like, you know, old school started telling me the story or whatever. And I'm like, what? You know, this. And I started telling him what was going on with me at that time. This was a short conversation. It was 20 minutes, but like it was shortened to the fact that like I just had to tell old school like what was going on with me like in my life during that time. And like this shit, you know, and then old school will tell you like this is the farthest thing. He was cool with where he was in his life. Mm-hmm. I was cool with where I was in my life. This ain't no shit we was even thinking about. And I can tell you like a few days before, I had literally woke up and looked in the mirror, Creole, and was like, shit, I saw hip hop wash over me and I said those words. I was like, okay, that part of my life over. And I'm telling you, within 72 hours, I'm getting a call from this guy. Like, this is like, this stuff don't happen like in real life, but it did. You know what I mean? And when I said that to myself, he calls 3 days later or 4 days later. And I'm like, we like giving me the question, like, what's up? What you gonna do? And I was like, I can't come right now, but I can come on the weekend because I think this was like a Monday or Tuesday. And they wanted me out there like right then, like that late on that night, red eye type shit.
Right now, you want to put
you know what I'm saying? Right now, you know, but I was like, man, I can get out there Saturday. It was either Friday or Saturday, and old school called Ye back, and shit, it was on. It was on.
Yeah,
I got out there, met with Ye. You know, me and Gree pulled up at the Energy Center. I met with Ye, and the first thing I gripped him up because I hadn't seen him in a minute.
Right.
We gave each other love, and first thing I said, like, man, don't have me coming out here if you're not committed.
If you're not committed.
A real conversation.
That's dope. That's dope. Wow, that's an amazing story. And it just makes me think about how, like, things could just change just like that. Like, one day you could be, your vision for your life or for your career, your future could be this way, and then it just shifts. You know what I mean? Like, before you even flew out there, I'm sure it shifted in your mentality. Like, really? Like, before you even got there, after you got the call?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Yeah. I'm on the plane, like, thinking, like, what is this? What are you doing? You know what I mean? You got your family back there. Your dad is sick, and you flying out here, you know. But I did, the other part of the conversation I had with Ye was, like, you the only person that could have got me to come out here. Wow. Like, no Dre, nobody else. This is you. Like, this is, you know, and he's the only person that could have done it.
That's love. That's love. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all respect. That's respect and time. Because you know we're one of the groups in the city. I mean, you know, we were one of the hottest groups in Chicago. But outside of that, we were one of the groups that Ye worked with early on. So we had a relationship with him. You know, it just wasn't to that level. We was never like on the roster or considered to be on the roster of good music. And I was an A&R through the whole process, but it was never a time where it was like, hey, Abstract Mindstate, you know, the very group is the reason you and I met, you know, but that was never a conversation. And I never, what's the word I want to say, EP? Like, I never injected that into our
never pushed the envelope. Like it was when, you know, I can say just outside of looking in, like every, you know, moment spent in the early times with old school and Ye was the benefit of Ye, like boosted, helping Ye, you know, get to this, you know, where he is now. Like, it wasn't even about us. And you know, at that time, you know, the dissolution of Abstract Mindstate, it was something that happened naturally. So it was no hard feelings. It's just that, you know, everything that old school had done for Abstract Mindstate shifted to him doing that for Ye.
Right. Yeah. So talk to me about how he became the producer for this project. Like, it's one thing for him to put you on his imprint, Easy Sound, but then he's now, contributing as the full producer on the album. Like, how did that conversation go to where it ended up like that?
Well, that was part of the master plan while we're tipping our hats and giving so much respect and honesty about how this was his vision.
Yeah.
100%. Listen, Krill, he literally said, okay, so the parts that I was leaving out, he said, I want to abstract mind state. I want to put y'all out. Y'all going to heal people and save lives. He said, this is going to be a collaboration. I'm producing the whole album. He said, it's going to be Kanye West and Abstract Mind State. He said, y'all not going to have to play rapper. Y'all not going to have to act like y'all got, the fancy things and front and play. He said, play rapper. He said, I don't want this industry thing involved in y'all. He said, what he said to me was this. He said, we are about to put some art out in the world. He said, either it's going to change you guys' life and or some people gonna get it and we're gonna touch them and heal some souls, and it'll always be some good art circulating in the world. He said this is not about like money or fronting, pretty much. Yep. It's not about fronting. This was he wanted to use abstract mindset because he felt we could heal some people and change some things. It was a serious mission, and he didn't want anybody touching the project, but
because like along while we were doing the project, like a couple of outside, inside producers, but like they tried to touch it, and it got back to him, and he was like went ballistic, like nobody hands will touch this project except mine.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And real. It wasn't just here goes some beats. Nah, he produced us.
That's what I was getting ready to ask y'all next. Like, because a lot of times you'll hear like, a producer sends a batch of beats and they kind of select through. Like, what did that process go like? Did he like literally like hone it for y'all and went back and changed beats?
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So put it like this. First of all, just to say, take it from the beginning, the beats Kanye had made about 400 or 500 beats for the. Remember when Good Music, when we put out those 5 albums in 5 weeks? It was Pusha T, Daytona. It was Kids See Ghosts. It was Ye by Kanye. It was Nasir, and then it was Tiana Taylor. Right. So when I actually went sample shopping with him. I was the guy he took with him sample shopping. So as poetic as this may sound, I'll just say later on, I end up getting some of the beats I saw get made for other people. You know what I'm saying? Wow. But anyway, so I went shopping with him. He bought all these records. He brought a few $1,000s worth of records to sample. And we went to Wyoming. So the world, like you can literally put Wyoming sessions in Google, and it's a whole story about the Wyoming sessions and what happened during that 5-album recording in 5 weeks. But that's not the original Wyoming sessions. We had 2 sets of Wyoming sessions that were just what we like to call beat retreats or whatever. That was Jay literally on the ASR 10, that loop on the ASR 10, looping samples. I'm sitting right next to him as he's doing this, just being energy and vibe to give him, being a soundboard, something he can bounce off of. I'm sitting right there with him. Ye chopped up about, like I say, about 400 or 500 beats or whatever. And by the time he finished the 5 albums, what was left was probably about 300 beats. And by now he's decided he want to do this with abstract. So he pulls up that folder with the 300 beats, or his engineer did. And he sat on the couch of this place that we once had called the Energy Center, which was like, we'll just say this was Kanye's creative space. It was huge. And one side was for YZY, where he can make his shoes and design. And the other side was a studio. And we hung out in the studio most of the time. So, I hung out in the studio all of the time. But so Kanye he put his head down. I never forget, his head wasn't up. He didn't look up. He put his head down. He had the engineer go track for track through 300 beats. And in the process, it was like this. He would go, next beat, that one, put that in the folder. Next beat, put that in the folder. Next beat, next one.
Mind you, Green not knowing that this for us.
Yeah, I'm like, he's putting these folders together. So now he got 100 beats in a folder, and he says, okay, I want you and EP to go through those and find your album.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So go back to EP. I said, EP, we got like 100 beats. And then we did our little process, and you could tell her like how we did our process.
So our process, basically, we go through all of the beats separately. Like this has been going on forever. Like he'll listen to him over here, and I was back home, so I was listening to him at the crib. He was listening to him, in LA at his crib. And the process is us talking about the ones, or writing down when we come back together, the ones that's our top 10, right? It's so crazy. Out of those 100 beats, we have 5 in common. Like he picked 5 of the same ones, I picked 5 of the same ones. And then, right. And then the process continued. Because we the goal was what, 10, Gree?
Yeah, the goal was 10. We were only going to have 10 songs on the album. That was the goal.
Yep, that was the goal. So we did that process again, and like we still looking at the ones we have in common. And so Greg, like, EP, what's your next one? What's your next one?
Yeah,
that was mine. Then I asked Greg, that was his, and that's how we went, and that's how we ended up with the first 10. We were going back and forth.
And we end up recording those 10 songs.
Yeah.
And then we presented them to Ye, and he was like, man, he was like happy with what we did. And we thought we was done, and we was about to move right into the next phase of getting this album done and out.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, now let's record 10 more. and we looked at each other like, what? Like, what just like, because we was ready to we finna put our album out now.
Right.
We're about to get this stuff mixed and mastered, and you know what I mean? And he was like, man, these great songs. Let's do 10 more. He was like, it's starting to sound good. I can hear y'all.
Yeah.
I can hear y'all warming up. Let's do 10 more. So just to tell you about like him not just throwing us beats.
Right.
The second leg of this process, now he's starting to tear our rhymes apart. Like, wait a minute, on this song, like EP is not staying on topic. Like, you tighten up right here. Gree, wait a minute, what's this line you saying? Okay, this line is dope. Listen to this line. He playing my stuff line for line. You hear this line right here? Fire. Okay, this next line, this is literally what he said to me. Would Nas say that? And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, we got to have only God level lines in this,
Yeah.
He said, God level. It got to be God level bars in here. That line changed that. So now he's like on us,
He's actually producing the record.
I was he's fully producing this record. He's not just playing beats. He's getting involved with the lyrics. Something that you guys are known for.
Right. Exactly. We're known for our lyrics, and he's tearing them apart. Like,
dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
So by the time the product was finished, let's just say, I like to jokingly say this. It was like a boot camp, it was like a Kanye boot camp, and it was kind of funny because we always like to tell the joke side of this, like. I had a really dope rhyme, and me and EP, we're like each other's favorite rapper. You know what I'm saying? We we like hearing what each other wrote. We always like to catch each other's lines and stuff. And he told my whole rhyme apart. Told me to rewrite some songs and stuff. He told me to rewrite like a couple of whole songs, like my whole verse. Do that whole verse over. And I look at EP, and EP was like, "Yo, that was dope." And she like, "No, forget that. We keeping that. And then we'll look at each other and just bust out laughing like, no, we gonna change this joint.
And Creel, the crazy part about it is in the beginning, the inception. As soon as I get to Wyoming, the first conversation Old School and I have was, whatever he tell us to do, we got to be willing to do it because of who it is. Not only is this, Gree's, good, very close best friend, but like this is an award-winning producer. Like, so why would we, you know what I mean, even challenge it? Why would we challenge it? Like, and the thing was like, for Old School, it's like, shit, if EP can go on and bend and, be amenable to a little change, I know I can, because that's just like me. I'm like, I'm not changing shit. I'm not, but it was already something that we said in the beginning because we knew it was going to be at some point where he was going to want us to do something that was out of the norm for Abstract Mindstate.
Exactly.
So it was already something that we had spoken on.
Yeah, we talked about it, man, and that was that. And see, and that's where we can speak to the maturity thing and the age and all of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, if we wasn't mature and we wasn't at our age and experience more than age, because age doesn't equate to experience, but we have experience. So if it wasn't for our experience, man, and our maturity, we wouldn't have. That could have went bad. Because again, like she said, yeah, it's one of my best friends. You know, and we've never worked together like that, you know, especially after in the beginning when we met, he was a producer we worked with and we knew who he was. But later we became like bros. Like, so now, you know, the music is not a part of our life as personal, like not that Abstract Mindstate to Kanye West. Now we're creating nothing but great music together, but not my group. So it's a trip, you know. Like we decided as mature adults, we was like, yo, let's just let's not even create any resistance. So us cracking jokes saying we're not changing it. We purposely were joking, like
knowing at the end of the day we changing, we doing whatever.
We changing everything he said. You know? And why not? You know, we like, why not? Like, this is a second breath for us at a time where one, we wasn't expecting it. And two, where we'll be okay even if it didn't happen. And we've never been in that position.
Yep.
That was the big thing with Abstract. Everything he'll tell you, everything was do or die for us.
It was it was literally hip hop or die. Like we'll rhyme for food. Like we were like the epitome of starving artists. So like everything depended on it. But like at the inception of this project, like we were cool. Like I was doing my thing professionally, Greed doing his thing professionally. Yeah. So we were at a place where, and we talk about the fact that took the pressure off, right? Because like we were able to get back, and there was no pressure, no studio time, because we got to get the funds to we don't have to hurry up and try to lay down 8 songs and 48 hours. You know what I'm saying with this?
And one of the biggest things for us was the clock. That was the first time in all of the time we've been doing this
together. Shot clock was off.
We didn't have to watch the clock in the studio, you know, like in the studio. No, we got 30 minutes left. You know, we got to shut down. No, we didn't even have a clock, because one of the things that Kanye said, along with when you asked how did he say it, one of the things he said was, y'all gonna record in my studio, so as much time we could have slept in there if we needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that freedom make the experience of recording just much more fun than it was, you know, back in the days, or 16 plus years ago?
So I don't think it made it more fun.
Okay.
It just made it less stressful. Yeah. Because we always had fun. Like that was never taken out of it, no matter what the pressure was, where the pressure was coming from, the time constraints, any of that. Like we always had a ball in the proof, like bouncing off each other. Like that was never a thing. Yeah. So like, no, that was like, that's the same energy.
Yeah. It was definitely fun. We always packed the fun in our recording session, because again, you wouldn't believe how crazy she and I is, because imagine how long we've been rocking with each other since 1990. So we have so many years of jokes, memories, and moments that I can look at her and say a line, and like for example, right now I can say, EP, I'm just ashamed to see you like that. And what you gonna say?
To see you.
You know, and you won't even know what that means, but between us, that's a joke.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that works.
Yeah, so that's us in the studio. We drive engineers absolutely crazy, because they don't know what we talking about, because we have 100,000 inside jokes.
Yeah.
So they be like, "Damn, so crazy," you know. But what comes out though, because of our intentions, our purpose, and all that, is what you heard, or what you
work is work.
Yeah, but that chemistry and that vibe translates into the music. So it works always. You know what I mean? So wow, thank you for sharing.
Creel, what's your favorite song?
Oh man, I was gonna get to that, but
she took over the interview.
It's all good. Being that you asked, I know what it is. Hold on, it's the one that you have the video out for, and
Wow. Okay.
That's my joint. That's my joint. I was gonna say it though, but yeah, Wild's Tale. I love it. And I'm gonna get into that. So
Okay.
let's keep it going. Let's talk about the album. Let's start with the cover art. There's a woman on the album cover. You know, it's like it has like an artsy kind of, perspective to it. Talk to us about what's happening with that cover. Like, who is the woman and like what's the significance of the cover art?
Okay, so the woman, first of all, is so EP and I, Abstract Mindstate, that's our name. We've always been attracted to like artistic cover. Like we always want our covers to be artistic. If you look at our discography on Bandcamp and look at the covers for like We Paid, Let Us In, and Still Paying, we always tried to make everything look like a moment captured, And this woman is actually a muse to the photographer that took that photo. So it's I forget the photographer's name, but we literally got permission from both of them to utilize this because she's a muse for the photographer, and the photographer felt like she had to out of respect for her muse, she was like, do you mind if I reach out to her first before I say, okay, I know this is my photography. And this is a kind of notable photographer. She's doing her thing in galleries and stuff. She's known. And her name slips my mind now. I wish I could think of it because I would want to shout her out and give her her flowers and her love. But I can't remember. But the point is, we had a few pieces we were looking at, and I can say an EP can, build and add on to this, but she looked like when you think about our title Dream Still Inspire,
right.
This woman looks like she's thinking about something. She looks like she's, it's something on her mind, and she even looks as though she can be drifting off into thought, thinking about like maybe some of her plans or what's going on with the world, various things I can say, but she has this thinking kind of thing going on. And when you say Dream Still Inspire, and then you look at that cover, and then the greens and like it was like almost sepia tones kind of, and it gives it like this very artistic flair. It was just like a beautiful Black woman in thought. And it looked like,
that's exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Beautiful Black woman in thought, and it's like, man, dream. Her face kind of says, "Dream still inspire." Like, wow. So you call her, just speaking on moments. It looked like we caught her, or you caught her as the person looking at it in a moment.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. Who came up with the title? Was that Ye's inspiration, or
that wasn't our title? Look,
that wasn't the title.
That wasn't our title. You wanted to EP tell them EP to name our actual title of the album. You remember?
Look, it's been so long.
It was actually called Dreams Don't Expire.
Dreams Don't Expire, right? That was so. And look, you're not even feeling that. Like to say it, like Dreams Don't Expire, right? Now. Ray, being Ye, didn't want us to use any negative
it's
words.
The dictionary game. It's the dictionary game.
I wasn't around for the dictionary. Okay. You can interject on that.
So here's how it goes. So Dreams Don't Expire, and we love the title because it says everything. Think about us.
Yep.
Dreams don't expire. Like there's no expiration date on a dream.
Yep.
Dreams don't expire. They're forever and ongoing.
Right.
So we thought we came up with a really fire title, right? Kanye liked it. But it's a dictionary game that we played in the Energy Center. And what the dictionary game is, Ye bought hundreds of pocket dictionaries. And we would spend hours going through the dictionary, taking negative words out. It's words in the dictionary that sound positive, that when you read how it'd be like the adjective meaning, then the verb meaning, it'll be different meanings. And one of them, to some of your favorite words, are very negative. Like once you read the other alternate meanings, and it's like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like something like need, right? It might sound like, yeah, what's wrong with need? But then you start reading it and it has the connotation is really bad. You have to look at the dictionary, do it yourself. It's interesting when you look at some of the other meanings of some words that seem positive. So he says to me after me and EP, and then he waited until it was all done and we was almost about ready to put it out. He said, okay. He said, now I'm about to say something to you, Greed. This is what he said to me. I'm about to say something to you. He said, you can say, no, y'all can be like, no, the hell with you, Kanye. I like my title. We rocking with it. But he said, but I would be wrong if I didn't challenge you. And he said, the dictionary game. And I was like, the dictionary game? What you mean? He was like, he said, think about it. Don't and expire are negative words. Don't expire.
He's right.
He's right. You feel it. See, you got it, right? You got it. So,
Ding, ding,
and I was
like,
like, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, like, you know, and he was like, now he said, I'm just putting that out there. Like, again, y'all can keep y'all title, but the energy that we want Abstract Mindstate to put out in the world, we got to go all the way. And don't and expires are just not positive words. So I was like, oh man, I call EP and I tell her, we like, oh man, here we go, you know. And what's funny about the title, in all honesty, one of his engineers named Josh, I called Josh and I said, man, Ye pulled one on me. He messed around and made us have to think about it. Me and EP was happy with our title, and he messed around and brought to our attention that don't and expire falls under the negative words in our dictionary game. And he was like, oh man. And Josh messed around trying to say our title, and he said, as he said, the new one on mistake. He was like, well, you know, dreams still inspire as well. And I said, wait a minute. I said, whoa. I said, stop. What did you just say? And he said, what? He kind of froze up. He was like, what? I said, dude, you just gave me a new title. You just gave me our new title. And he was like, he didn't even know he did it. I said, dude, you said dreams still inspire. Right. I said, so you see how much more positive that even feels? You know,
and it just to the point, you know.
Yeah, because dreams still inspire, man. And that's the thing, like, not to talk long, but here's the thing, and I was discussing with EP and we just talked. I feel like because of the advent of social media and just all of the access, we have so much access to so many things that we don't have to really think anymore. You just can just kind of exist because everything is doing it, whatever it may be, for you. It's just doing it for you. You don't even have to spell anymore. Spell check is fixing it for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to look up anything no more. Google is finding it for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, dreaming is something that I felt like it's kind of got lost in all the technology because you don't have to think anymore. You don't even have to follow your dreams. You can create whatever you want to. Like social media, you can create a fictional life. Like if you set yourself up right, you look like you have an amazing life. It's not real, but you can set it up and portray it to the world that way. So because of that, nobody is dreaming. And the only way you get to something real, as funny as it sounds, because dreaming is something when you're in a different state, but the only way to get to something real is to actually have a dream so you can have something to go for. Because whatever your thing is, whether it's going to get a degree, all of these things are accomplishments, something you dream of completing or dream of doing, or, you know, your dreams, whatever that is. You know, in music, we had dreams of making it. So dreams still inspire. You get what I'm saying? They still inspire. Your dreams still inspire you. We just kind of forgot about it. We stopped dreaming because we didn't have to anymore.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I get that message as I listen to the album, like, you know, with the different tracks, even though there's different subject matter that you guys are touching on, it comes together with that universal message as well. I want to talk about the lyrics on the project. The first song is entitled Salutations Intro, and it starts with you saying, Gree, good things to all of y'all hearing this. Good dreams to all that fall asleep on this. I'm not at all appalled because y'all receiving this. Can you talk more about what you mean by the line, I am not at all appalled because y'all receiving this?
Yeah. Oh, this is good. We have never
you know, nobody asked about the lyrics yet. We had 8,000 interviews. Ain't nobody asked yet this in depth about
we gonna go there. If y'all
this is good. Okay. So of course, EP and I, as you get more into the album and vibe out, we're the kings and queens of double entendres, right? So salutations, a salutation is just a greeting. It's just, that's all it is. So it was the first song because we just wanted to say, hey, what's up, y'all? Hello. Matter of fact, in the hook, we literally said hello in all the different ways you can say hello. With John Kia Rose is singing, hey, what's up, what's happening, aloha, how you do. Those
Yeah.
all the ways you can greet somebody, right?
She does a great job on that song too. I want to big her up. Like
oh yeah,
the featured artist. Yep.
Yeah, Jakia Rose, man. That's actually my artist, you know. So
dope.
she got and Kanye actually liked her so much that she wasn't in the beginning. You know, when it comes on, she comes in singing "Winning in This Thing Called Life." The vibe is so right. You know, they asked us if we think it took long. It's always on time. Now that we finally meet, I want to say this to you.
That's my second favorite song, by the way.
Oh man, yeah. But I was gonna say that wasn't on the song. She was just singing the hook. And to what I'm speaking to what you said, when he's like, man, she did a good job. Kanye comes to me and is like, dude, you got to put Jakia. She got to start the song off. Like, write her 8 bars or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I write R&B songs, so I actually wrote that part. So he's like, you got to write her and let her start the song off. Then you come in. You know, that's how he did it. He just kind of, that's his thing, you know. And I was like, okay, so no, get into the lyrics. Good things to all of y'all hearing this. That's my blessing. Like, you know, good things to all of y'all hearing this. Now the double, I'm trying to say good things to all that fall asleep. I mean, good dreams to all that fall asleep on this. All I'm saying is, if you sleep on this, I wish you nothing but good dreams. But if you sleep on this, I wish you nothing but good dreams. You get what I'm saying? If you sleeping, you know, I wish you good dreams. So good dreams to all that fall asleep on it. So that's why I said I'm not at all appalled because you're receiving it. So if you actually, from whichever one, I was going with the actually falling asleep, like you missed it. You slept, you know, when you like you slept on that. So you slept on us. I'm not at all appalled because you're receiving this. You still got it.
Got it.
So even if you slept on it and didn't catch what we was doing, you still got it though. So it was still a gift, which is why I said the energy level feel like Christmas, because that was a gift.
Right. Nice one too with the gift and the Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I had to think about that lyric. You know, I always tell people, like, I'm a lyric head, so I like to listen and decipher and go back and be like, oh, what did he mean by this? So
right.
And that one, I stopped at it because I was like, I know he got a meaning to this.
Yeah,
I
man.
wanted to ask y'all about it. So thank you for breaking that down.
For sure. Thanks for asking. That was good.
Right.
Indeed. Now, EP, you also have a line on that song where you say, our weight is up. Change the cadence up. Dumbed it down a bit. We speak in clarity, but never mumbled it. Can you expound a bit on that lyric and how you all have been able to still keep your integrity as quality MCs while evolving today?
So the first part was, what was the first part, Creel? What was the first part of the lyric you asked?
Yeah. So it says our weight is up. Okay. It's part of a bigger lyric, but I just, you know.
So our weight is up is another double. That's a double.
Yeah.
So the weight is up, like the time is now, so we don't have to wait no more. But our weight is up, like we fucking with a heavy. You know what I'm saying?
We got our weight up.
Yeah, we messing with a heavy. Like, Ye produced this whole thing. That weight is up. Like, but the weight is up. Change the cadence up. That's okay. So when I said change the cadence up, that goes back to something Ye said like years ago when he was on one of our songs when he did Welcome to Chicago, and he was like talking about cadences. Like, back then we didn't think about no cadences. I wasn't thinking about no cadences, but if you listen to him as an MC, like, he's always been about cadences. Like, and that's what some of the things listening to his music had me doing on this project, changing the way that I say stuff. And on this particular song and several more, I had a tough time writing. So I would follow Greg's old school's cadence all the way through his rhyme. I would literally listen to his rhyme, write down his first line, and then write mine listening to his first line in my head. Like, because he says, Like what's your first line, Green?
On you talking about what
On
he
salutations.
oh, good thing. That's what he said. Good
Good
things to
things
all
to
y'all.
y'all, and mine is greetings to y'all. So it's like the same
Yeah,
greetings to
greeting.
y'all within ish. So I followed his cadence, and like it gave it so much cohesion. I wish I did that years ago, but things, but it gives the record so much cohesion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And changed the cadence up, dumbed it down a bit. Sometimes you could be too abstract. So and you want people to receive it, right? But you
Right.
don't want to go over their heads either. Like when I was a younger MC, I used to go try to find the most difficult word in the damn dictionary. I knew what it meant, but I wanted you to learn. But we ain't got time. We ain't got time for you to have to learn what we saying now. Like, because we want to give it to you right then. Like, this is what we saying. Like, it's not even school time no more.
You
right?
want it to be received.
Y'all want it to be received
Yeah.
instantly, Creole.
In real time.
In real time, for sure. In real time. Dumbed it down a bit. Speak clarity. And never mumbled it. I'm pretty sure you know what that means.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you know what that means. Like that's not a diss. It's just like what we never did. Like it's always been straightforward lyrics. You can hear it, you can understand the annotations, the connotations, the enunciation, you know what I mean? The articulation, all the Asians. You can understand them all, you know.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the reason why I highlight that line is because it speaks to you all, like that line specifically speaks to you all, you know, feeding it to the people, but still keeping your quality, right? Still keeping integrity as artists. It's not mumbled. It's dumbed down, but it's not mumbled, right? It has still that quality aesthetic as an MC. And I just wanted y'all to kind of like build on like how y'all have been able to, you know, evolve to 2021 and still keep that, but change up your cadence a little bit and do those little adjustments so that people receive it.
Yeah.
Or,
and you know, and I think that's possible to when you say, well, how would y'all do something like that, bringing it into 2021?
Yeah.
And not to sound like I'm on our own tip, but I can accept me and EP was in the future, man. We were the famous thing we hear is you guys were way ahead of your time. That's like a normal thing we heard back, I mean, from the beginning, man. You know what I mean? You guys were way ahead of your time in 98. We were way ahead of our time because me and EP, like if you go back and listen to the beautiful thing about this Bandcamp thing is we have our entire discography on Bandcamp for people to enjoy this record, but then say, man, what was up with them? And now you can see like, hey, this was always our sound. Always very soulful. Because the guys who were Kanye's mentors, you know, was our producers. So we already was in this soulful sample sound. So that's why it meshes so well, because a person out of Chicago who took the Chicago, because that was a Chicago style of producing. But people didn't realize the way Kanye's first, you know, album was, College Dropout. Right. That was him and all his Chicago producerness. So he was, you know, that was how Chicago, really dope Chicago producers, they had that style. Kanye was the epitome of I made it out of Chicago with the sound.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And kept it.
And he got so good at it, you know, because he was, you know, Kanye, you know, like any person who want to learn a craft, man, he you know, he said it in a lot of his rhymes, you know, he put the 10,000 hours in shooting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, and you know, in listening to this album, it just reminds me of the College Dropout album, Kanye. Like, so when you talk about that Chicago sound, like that makes so much sense with how this album turned out. EP, on the song I Feel Good, you said you forgive some people, thank them for the lessons, because holding on to it was blocking your blessings, no more stressing, and then you go on to say some other.
Yeah.
What was it that got you over the hump of being able to forgive?
Just knowing that literally when you're unable to forgive, you can't be a vessel. Nothing can move through you. You can't progress. It costs, it's so much energy not to forgive. It's so much energy to be negative. At family functions, not talking to nobody, you know what I mean? Or you out kicking it or whatever, and somebody did you something and you holding on to it, and like they get that energy, like you giving them that power, you know what I mean? And like the spiritual side of me, won't allow me not to forgive. It won't allow me to, because I know what's on the other side after you forgive, right? And you want to get to that other side. You don't want to stay on this side of the things. And it's just the opposite. It's just the opposite of godliness. And so when I wrote that, like oh God, like that song, like every song and every lyric is so literal and true to each one of our experiences.
Yeah.
And it's powerful. The words are powerful when you speak them, because maybe at that point I hadn't forgiven, but after I said it, I did.
Wow. So continuing with that lyric, and I just want to make sure I get that I'm saying the lyric the right way. Okay. You say no more stressing.
Worry dishonors God.
Okay. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, no more stress and worry. And we know that when you worry, like with your grandma and my grandmother and old school's grandmother used to say, if you worry, don't pray. If you pray, don't worry.
Right.
They can't coexist.
Right. So I wanted to say, with that line, you say, no more stressing, worry dishonors God. So you don't, right? You say you don't.
I just pray. And I'm loving my odds.
I'm loving your odds. That line stood out to me when I heard it. I was like, wow. Like, how did you get to that place of choosing faith and freedom over worry?
Because like fear is always supposed to be over faith, right? And you can't, like they can't coexist. Like it's almost scientific. You can't be worried about something and you just stressing and you thinking about it over and over again. When you pray, you're supposed to let stuff go, right? When you pray, that's when you're giving it to God, your higher power. You no longer hold on to it. Like praying is letting it go. But when you constantly perseverate on it and you're thinking about it over and over again, you don't trust God that he gonna work that out. You don't, why you thinking about it? Why you putting your hands on it? Take your hands off of it, right? Because if you steady trying to move, like that old in the Bible, one of the most powerful verses to me in the Bible is be still. Be still and know that I am God. Like that means get out of your own damn way. You done gave it to me. Let me go and handle it. Don't keep trying to touch it.
Right.
So
yeah, I think it's one of those things that a lot of us know, like deep down inside, but we tend to choose fear a lot of times.
It's natural.
Yeah,
because we operate on carnal. Like, so it's natural for us to automatically, you know what I'm saying? And then we try to control it. Like that fear makes us try to control it more.
And it's easy.
It's super easy. It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah,
like especially the older you get, that's why like trials make the person, right? Because the older we get, the more we think we can fix shit. The more we think we can control it. When it's supposed to be the opposite. That's when we supposed to learn, like let it go.
Let go more. Yeah.
Right. So also on that same record, I want to get to some of your lyrics, Gree. I feel good. You say in one of your lines that before you hadn't said much, right? Now you've got much to say. And I assume you're talking about like your words as a lyricist. Like, what do you feel you have to offer now more as an artist than you did before?
Wow, that's you. Let me start by saying you picking some of the illest like parts to just ask us about. Before I ain't say much, and now I got much to say. What I meant by that, it was a little more to that. I was the guy. I had to teach myself to. I went through a thing where I learned where I had to brand myself so people can understand who I was. I wasn't like. It was more to me than just like
Kanye homie.
Kanye homie. I went through a lot of years. It was just a period where I was just Kanye homie. I wasn't even anything more than his homie. That's all I was. They didn't know what I did, what his purpose was for having me around, why he seemed to have so much love for me. I was just like his blanket or something on a Charlie Brown's peanut special or something, you know. And but it was deeper than that. Like, so I said, before I ain't say much, now I got much to say. I was that line for me, I was speaking to the fact that how I switched that around and changed it up as I got into, as my life changed and started getting better. I started being a little more vocal and a little more outright with who I was. Before I ain't say much. Now I got much to say. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that line was for me. It was just my moment of stepping into my own, you know, and being vocal about it. Because I'm the king. If I was on the basketball team, they'll probably say, man, he's one of the greatest team players. I just know how to play my position. Right, and it was time for me to stop playing my position and let you know that, yo, I'm actually a ice cold point guard or whatever. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I'm gonna add on to that for my brother. Like he was around Ye all of those years, and 90% of those people that were also around never knew he was an MC. Because he never interjected Abstract Mindstate or his solo stuff into what was going on with him and Ye, and how he was, you know, intermingling with Ye. And also, like, he worked on some of the biggest artist shit. He got plaques. Man, listen, you know, only built for Cuban links. You know, he got plaques all the way right where he at right now. It's plaques everywhere. And part of him coming into himself, and you know what I'm saying, now I ain't got much to say. I want my shit. I worked for this. I want people to see everything that I contributed to this thing called hip hop.
Right.
You know, and I've been doing this for years, and this is what I did. This is what I worked on. Like, look, you know, this ain't, I'm not just, you know, I'm just not around, you know, for decoration.
Right.
I put it in.
Right. Know? That was great. I'm glad you spoke up for me on that part, EP, because I should have spoke to that. So that's our balance. I'm glad you said that, because that's what it was. It was me saying, look, man, I put work in this thing. Like now I start showing you why he would want somebody like me hanging around him.
Yeah.
Why he find himself, you know, not minding me in his presence and actually asking for me to be present, you know. Right. So I started showing that. Before I ain't say much. Now I got much to say.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. And it's so, you know, I find like this happens too as you get older, right? Like as I'm getting older now, I'm way more vocal as well. Just as you get older, you're more, you know, the age I think brings that. Like you're like, okay, you ain't gonna screw me over. Like
right.
That happens with age too, you know. So I'm glad that you broke down, you know, the meaning behind that line. Like I said earlier, A Wise Tale is, I'll say it, that's my favorite track on the album right now. It may change, right? Maybe that changes to something else, but that's my favorite track. I love the production. Like I said, it reminds me of that College Dropout album that Kanye produced, his first album. And but I also really like the lyrical delivery and the storytelling that I hear on the track, right? Can you clarify what is happening with the two characters in each verse and what the stories are ultimately about, like both your verses?
All right, so my verse, to just give it away now since it's out. Because, you know, first of all, the Wise Tale is purposely ambiguous. It kind of like we giving it to you, but not quite telling you what's going on.
I can tell that.
You can tell that, right?
I'm sorry if I'm asking the question for you to give it out, but I'm always, as a lyric head, I'm like, I want to know.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. but if as much as you can give, you know.
Right. So put it like this to keep it fun, because that's what we do as Abstract Mindstate. We purposely make you think. So we're clearly telling a story and giving the details, but you notice also that, wait a minute, y'all kind of left it like it was no name. It was almost like you heard a whole story with no names on the paper, and it was like, wait a minute, like what happened here? Like I heard that whole story and I still didn't get a name, you know. So what it is my verse is a tale about a guy that got himself in an embarrassing situation for a woman that was pretty embarrassing for her, but that thing was stopping him from moving forward with
God.
something that was going on with them at the time. But it was a fix for this thing because it wasn't serious or permanent. There was a fix, and that fix can actually be at Walgreens. But in order for him to say it, he has to embarrass her. Now she's hurt, and she's gonna cry. And then her brother, she goes home. Her brother sees her crying. What's if that nigga do that? Now he want to fight me for being truthful about a situation that's kept, that kept me from moving forward. And what, you know what I'm saying?
Got it. We ain't gonna go any further. You wanna expound on your verse? And I did catch the video today. And I was looking at the video and I was like, I like how y'all put the characters in the video, and even with the characters in the video too, it's still kind of like
it wasn't quite the exact story.
But it adds to the story. But go ahead, EP.
And man, shout out to Neeson, the director of the video. Oh my God, he did it. He did it. For me, I'm pretty much talking to the young lady that's on the bed about the other young lady. Like, everything she tell you, like, don't believe it, because she'll tell you she's here when she's here. Like, she'll say she live in a group home, but how she in Miami? Like, you know what I'm saying? If she in a group home, you're in a group home, you got curfews. You know what I mean? Like, she said her phone broke, but now her phone not broke. She got two phones. Like, she it's just that. My verse is pretty much about a lying ass chick. Like, check the story.
Right.
If she say something to you, check the story, Creel. Check the story.
Yeah. I caught the Freudian slip too. That line where you referenced that. I was like, you talking about nightlife and
yeah.
That's a dope record, man. And the reason why it's so dope is because there's so many. Like, the production is dope. Like, I love it just off the bat because of the production. But when you get into the lyrics and the storytelling, it's also really dope. Like, what did you guys envision or wanted people to take away from the wise tale? Because you say in the hook, avoid a quick fail, take heed to the wise tale.
Yeah.
Over again.
Yeah.
What did you want people to take away from this wise tale?
So we are playing your conscious in this. Like, we are the conscious, because I have this term where I always say, man, first mind God, second mind you. And first mind God, second mind you means that it's something innate or inside of you that always gives you, it's something as simple as making a turn. You can make a right turn and be like, man, something told me to make a left. That's the God thing. That's the natural, but we always take over and think we know what's right, and it's always wrong because it's always your first mind. So what I'm saying is, with a wise tale, we're your conscious, telling you like, yo, man,
don't
do it. Like, this about to go bad. Like, and so it's a wise. And we just to call it a wise tale was because when you think about older or elder people, they always tell you that it's like, well, an old wise tale said, or it was a wise tale that said blah blah blah. So this is a wise tale, and it's just we're just your conscious, man, trying to give you some guidance about a situation you're about to be in. Because even in EP's verse, if you think about it, she's saying all of the clues, like she got a secret, now she got two phones, and you thinking something is up, but you doubting it because maybe you too in love, or maybe you know what I'm saying, you're maybe desperate or whatever it is, and you just fanning these things off, but you getting all of the signs that's showing you like something is not right. So we just your conscious telling you like, hey man, avoid a quick fail. Take heed to this wise tale. Like, don't run towards failure. Don't take off running towards the mess up. Hey, avoid a quick fail. Take heed to this wise tale. And then EP, if you feel me like Braille, take heed to this wise tale. Whether male or female, take heed to this outsider in jail. We just saying, if you live in your life and you behind bars or outside in the world, man, take heed to this wise tale. And
listen, Creel, like we didn't Neeson did that. Like we didn't have anything to do with the way with the people and his what he saw when he heard the song.
Yeah.
He saw it, he sent us the treatment and we read the treatment or whatever, but we still didn't know where he was going with it. And when I first saw my verse, I was like, wow, because I was thinking that, but I didn't think he was going to show that. Two chicks. Like in my head, when I wrote it, I'm gay. So when I wrote it, I'm thinking about two chicks, but I didn't think he was going to get that because I didn't say it to him.
Yeah.
Got it.
Actually, I'll go ahead with you.
I was just saying, what's also dope about the video is like they got the little characters of you guys.
I was about to speak to that.
You like rocking in the, the little rocking in the video, and like it just comes across so cool, But go ahead.
No, I was gonna speak to that. It's funny. See, we right on point because I was gonna speak to that. What you said. The only thing about this video that we knew we wanted. It's an old video from the 80s called by a group called Aha. The song
Take on Me.
It's called Take on Me. And they use something called sketch animation, where the main character looks like he was drawn with a pencil. And we wanted to bring that to this video. We thought like that's just such a cool concept. And so it was Neeson, the director, who actually took that. He said, okay, that's what y'all want, okay, and he expounded on it by actually having a book to have to give us a reason to look like a sketch because out of a book, the only thing is gonna make us up is black and white. That's all we got.
Yeah.
So that was Neeson that took our idea to the next level, and he built a story around it, and it was cool because even with mine, it touches on parts of my story, but not exact. And that's what makes it cool because it's fun to throw you off a little bit.
It does.
These are ambiguous tales that we trying to like make you think about it a little bit,
And it when you talk about you guys being the conscience, like the little person that you guys are representing in the video, it makes sense, right? Because when you about those old movies or whatever, they always got like
there's one jump on the shoulder.
And little, it's like in the head. So that makes sense too. Bree, I want to say, like, when I immediately heard your verse, what really stood out was your flow. And I thought it was like clever how you used suffixes ending with the sound owling and ing, right? And still make those words make sense with the story. Like, how difficult was it for you to achieve that?
Wow, man, it's so dope. Like, I love you. Like, I could go and say this one. I love how you zoning in. Okay, again, we literally live this abstract mind state mentality. So when I did the first word, how does it start off? This might be a small thing,
right?
Kind of involving some of the situation that don't happen often. And when I wrote that, it was rhyming, but I felt like, wait a minute, if I overemphasize it, it'll put some more swag on it and make it fun. So I said, this might be a small thing, kind of involving a situation that don't happen often. And then since that was so fun, I kept going. Yeah. So I kept telling the story, making sure I kept ending it with an ing or e or e, and it just became fun. And I was able to do it all the way till it was time to come out of the story and let it end. And that's when at the end, as I changed it and I used another, I forget what I started using at the end, but I come out of the ing thing. And it wasn't as difficult as it was fun and creative. And that's what I was leaning more on. How can I be creative, have fun playing with the word, but still stay on the story? Because I knew it was the story. So that's what it was about. It was about adding color to the story by kind of bending some of the words. And that was on purpose, just to make you like, what? Like, wait a minute, what he just doing? And it sounds kind of fun. you know.
It does, yeah. Like your flow has a fun vibe to it. But what was really intriguing to me was like, yo, like you stayed on topic, like you stayed with the story. And
Man,
I
thank
mean,
you.
it's one thing to go with the ing, but for the most part of like the beginning of it, you're using owling, like everything is rhyming with owling, and I'm like, how did you find so many words that end with owling? Like, you know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
dope. Yeah.
Hey man, thank you, man. I love that, man. And that's us just as Abstract Mind State really caring about the lyrics and the delivery and the cadences. Man, we literally, that's what's making this fun is what you're doing now. Cause EP will tell you, we lived for that. That's what we lived for people to be able to appreciate like the lyrical or our wordplay and understand that, like you listening, it actually
We appreciate it enough to ask, what were you thinking when you wrote that?
Right.
And it makes sense. You agree, like it makes sense. And we always made sense. That was what our group was about, was making sense, you know.
Got it. So let's move along to another song. The song is called Elevation. I really like the message with this song. I mean, the title itself embodies what the song is about. But EP, you say on that song, talking ain't teaching, demonstrate to elevate. The last generation should make the next one great. And the one after that, even better than the previous, until the word trap is synonymous with trapezius. Now, I had to stop there when I heard that. I was like, okay, what is this word trapezius? I don't even know what that word is. Right?
It's a body part. Like so.
I want to ask you, like, break that down. Like, why'd you choose the word trapezius to become synonymous with the word trap?
Only just because of the first four. It's simple. Just because of the first four letters. That's all. That's all it was. Because like everything is trap. Everything is trap music. Like okay. Let's expound on trap, and let's just talk about the trapezius minor, the trapezius. Let's get into some bodily parts, some body parts. But that's pretty much all. That's pretty much all it was. If you're gonna keep talking about trap, let's make the word mean something other than the spot. Let's talk about what the word trapezius is. It could have been any word, I guess.
Can I tell you what? And this might be me just going a little too far.
Go ahead.
But when I thought about it, I was like, because I had to look up the word. I'm like, I'm gonna look this word up. So I find out ahead of time what they talking about. And I find out that it's like trapezius is like a certain muscle or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe you were saying, like how we grow up in the hood and the hood being the trap and stuff, just that environment, right? And us getting to a place where we can become doctors and, we become.
So listen.
I'm like,
for me, that was just strictly the vocabulary, right? Like if you're going to talk about trap, let's boost that vocabulary. Let's go to that. Like, right. I mean, that's it. That's pretty much it.
Right.
It could go to anything you want to, what you want to make of it. But that's pretty much it. Like elevating what you think this word might mean or what it could mean to you right now to something else. Which is the same word. That you nailed it.
Yeah, because I was thinking like only somebody who might not only, but in most cases, somebody who's like maybe studying it to be, in a medical field might even understand, like familiar with that word. So I thought you were trying to like connect it to, just aspiring for other things, right? Yeah. Other things like becoming a doctor or becoming, it doesn't even have to be that, but just aspiring for other things outside of the regular like entertainment or sports that, tends to people think about, But
and I really, Creel, I would be interested to talk to people who come from the world of trap music, and I want to know what they mean when they say trap. Because when I first started listening to the connotation and the denotation of trap, I don't know if I took it the wrong way, but for me it means like a trap, not the actual house, like you caught in a trap. Like that's what it means to me. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure if that's what the overall
Got it. Yeah.
what they're trying to convey.
Right. I understand where you're coming from with that. Yeah, because I consider that as well. Yeah, that's a good question. Now, I gotta give it to y'all on the track, social media. Your delivery, both of you, your delivery is very clear and precise. Like you guys take like a slower pace with the rhyme, but there's an eloquence to the delivery, right? And I wanted to recognize y'all for that. You know, like sometimes people, like you guys were talking about earlier, like, you know, you could say a bunch of big words, but you could also slow it down and, you know, take your time and still be eloquent, right? With the rhymes, right? And at the end of the song, there's an excerpt where someone is saying, social media
That's
is
Jay.
more. That's yeah.
That's Jay.
Him. I thought it was him. All right,
Yeah.
so let's say, so where Ye is saying social media is doing more to hurt families than it is to help families, and families are the key to health.
Yeah.
While we've been able to benefit from social media in many progressive ways, you know, we could think about that. I do understand, you know, the ways in which it can also be utilized in a destructive way. Can you talk more on, like, in specific to how social media can sometimes be hurtful to the progression of the family and the things that we need to be mindful of?
Well, for me, it takes away from the communication. Like everybody's sitting at the dinner table with their phones. Nobody's really communicating. Parents don't really know what their child is consuming
Right.
On the net. And then they look up 6-7 months later and their child is, you know what I mean? Anything could happen. We're not going to go as far as, you know, death or something like that. But all the things that happen in between, basically are the you know, counterpart to communication. And we know, like, communicating with your child is like the key to raising them. Like if you lose that communication with your child, you're ineffective as a parent. Like you want to keep those lines of communication open at all time. And social media, if it's raising your child, then when you attempt to, it's not going to work. Like it's not going to work. So everything in moderation, bro. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Like it has its ills. It has its ills, but it also has a place too where it can uplift. But like, you know, it's everything in moderation.
That's a great response.
And also that's the only verse he made me change. I had to change my entire verse. Old School brought him the song and he listened to it. He was like, shit, EP is all over the place. She all off topic. Tell EP if she don't get on topic, she not gonna be on this song, and it's gonna be your solo song. Straight up.
He did tell her. And
I'm glad he did that because it came out really well. Go ahead.
And he absolutely loved my flow on there. He was really into the flow on there. So, but I'll say this though about the song. It was speaking to your, you know, back to your question. So and social media for to me can actually be the soundtrack. If one song can be the soundtrack to the title of our album, it could be social media. And I say that simply because going back to what we said in the beginning of this conversation about when I said dreams are, you know, have been kind of snatched out of the heads because we don't have to think anymore. So so I'll give you the good and the bad of social media, in my opinion. Like the social media, right? And several are doing it to this day. They're creating this fake life. Like, you know, they only show the best parts of a day or their lives. And it's not necessarily even theirs, like cars, clothes, jewelry. They may have a friend who has a nice car. That's when they take a picture. They have a friend who has nice jewelry. That's when they take a picture.
Right.
The one day that they're at a special place, that's when they take the picture. So this, like say, we'll just say Instagram, for example, it's a series of photos. So now all you seeing is the best parts of this person's life.
Right.
But the truth, the people who really know them, they could be absolutely in financial hardship. Right. They could be stressed stressed out, going through mental issues and all of that. But that's not what social media is putting up. It's like they're using it to lie and fake themselves out by faking people out, right?
Mm-mm.
That's the negative part. But the positive part is exactly what I did to let people know what I was doing. I started exposing my truths, and social media is a platform that, in the same way, it lets you expose what you want to. I expose my truth. Hey, I actually worked at this record label. I was a part of working all of these records. So here's my plaque, and I'm gonna let you see me open my plaque for the first time
Right.
and celebrate it with you guys, because this is a moment for me, and it's real though. You get what I'm saying?
There's value to your hard work over the years too.
Yeah, and that's what I was doing. So what you just said, what I did, from everything from showing my travels and being unafraid to show. Yeah, when I travel with yeah, we fly private. That's Ye is on that level. I fly I fly private jets more than I fly domestic because of him. It's not my jet. I don't front like it is, but I might grab a picture on the jet or right outside the jet, and it's just to say, hey man, I'm moving like I'm part of this thing that makes this hip hop thing tick. I'm showing you a little bit, so that's the positive. I was just saying you can use. I just gave you
Yeah,
an example.
absolutely. Yeah. Wow, man. Wow. I just love the fact that y'all just keep it so authentic. Years later, like even though this is a new experience for y'all at this stage, like I could tell that the foundation that you guys came into the game with is still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you see so many artists, no matter what, whether they're like famous or not, like they veer off from what they came into the game doing. Even though you might have changed up like you said, changed up the cadence a little bit, the message is still there. You know what I mean? And the music is still there, so that's dope. The song Expository Mode, EP, you say being back in the booth is like reliving your youth. Can you describe how that feeling of being in the booth translates to the experience you had as a youth? Like take me to the booth and describe what it is you're feeling in that moment that makes you nostalgic about your youth.
For me, the camaraderie with me and old school, and being around that vibe again, because I was so far removed from music. Period. Like I am a BCBA. I'm a board certified behavior analyst. I had nothing, music other than just listening to it. Like that was gone. And so being back in that booth and writing and what I mean, going back and forth and coming in and out and looking out at the engineer and seeing old school out, through the glass, like all of that to me, that was magic. Like that was magic. But because it was so long ago, that was my youth. That was my youth. And honestly, Creole, it would have been my youth if it was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So for me, that's what it was. That's what produced the nostalgia of it and the magic of it, because I could go back and relive all of the times when I did this before, and it was still with this guy, right? Like, and now that guy is still there, and so for me, that's the same thing, and it's like that was my youth, because I started going in the studio with him, and now look, fast forward 25 years, I'm back in the studio with this same cat, and we doing the same thing all over again, So
nice. So this next question I have for y'all, it's not related to any particular lyric, but I feel it's fitting to ask because your journey, I think, yields this question. When opportunities for financial success and recognition keep closing the doors on you, right? Or it doesn't have to be you, or on someone, right? And it seems like people are not recognizing your worth. Where do you get the motivation to keep pushing and coming up with a solution to make a way for yourself? Like, you guys can answer it based on wherever you were at any point in your journey. I just felt like compelled to ask that question.
Well, like for me, it's funny that you would say that because it's something I said in the screening, because we've been doing private screenings of our documentary, you know, in several markets. And one of the things I said that I can use, that I can say to you right now is I psychotically refuse to quit. Like I'm an individual that's more afraid to give up than I am to keep going. Most people get afraid to keep going. I'm afraid to give up. I don't know. It's like a screw or something cracked in my head that won't let me stop until I get whatever it may be. We can do the air quotes, whatever it is. I just don't know how to. I have to do it. I don't know. I think it's being growing up with less, or growing up an only child into my sister came into my life later. You know, I discovered I had a sister later in my life, and now we've been in each other's lives for a long time now. But I grew up an only child, so I just feel like being alone or being by myself, a combination of that, and just always wanting. I was a guy that always finished everything I started. You know what I'm saying? So I psychotically refused to quit. So that's the motivation for me. I don't know how to give up. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. Like, hats off to you for even being able to have that kind of motivation, you know.
Yeah.
EP, you want to add on to that question? Anything you want?
For me, like I have to be an example for my brother and my sister's children, both of my sisters, my brother's children. And I have to be an example for my family, and to let them know that, like, there is better. There is, and I'm like that, you know, like Greed is too. I don't want to stop, but with me, I don't know what that thing is, what this unachievable thing is that we both haven't conquered yet. Like, and we can't, I probably can't even name it.
Yeah.
And when it comes, we may know it's there or not, but we may be so used to working, we don't even see it and know that we've accomplished it, right? So for me, it's all about having my family see better, experience better, experience more elevation, and that simply means, like, doing better than where you are and knowing that there's better. Because a lot of times, like, you know, we get like, I can equate the little guys in the neighborhood where I grew up. Like, you know, y'all go get these $100,000 cars and all of this, but y'all stay out west. Y'all don't even go downtown with it. Y'all don't even drive out south or to the lakefront in your car that you paid all this money. You paid all this money just to go around the block. Like just see better, do better, want better. Right. And if I can affect just my family, you know what I mean? And that will cause them to want to achieve greater and be greater than what they see, I'm okay with that.
Wow, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for that insight. You know, it's just a question that came to me as I was listening to the album, and I felt compelled to ask you all. So we're almost done. I know I've got you guys for
you good.
What is the Brenda song about, and how did that track become the sole vocal feature with Kanye on the album?
Because Kanye brought us that track. We were done with the album.
So finished.
We were finished with the album. Kanye had a lot of. We personally feel that he had a lot of fun watching us turn his pieces of art into our pieces of art, and because he kept bringing us tracks and songs when we were done. The Brenda song wasn't on the album.
It wasn't even part of those original beats.
Yeah, it wasn't even. Yeah,
the beat sounds a little different. It sounds more like what we.
Yeah, we didn't even know. You know, why he just came out of nowhere. And what it was he had reference. Kanye is the king of the reference. It's not even real lyrics on it. It'll just be a cadence and a mum like a he said Brenda, and that's all he had was Brenda, and the rest was mumble. And he had already had that on there, and he asked me to come up with something, which he didn't use because I did come up with something, but he didn't use it. But actually, him and Rhymefest, he told me that him and Rhymefest worked together on coming up with something for that hook. Nice. But yeah, but the point is, he brought it to us with like a referenced vocal on it already, and I'm not even sure if he thought he was going to stay on it or if he had intentions to stay on it. Honestly, it was us that said, okay, in writing to that track, you know how when you're writing, you got to keep playing the song over and over. And EP and I discussed it. We was like, man, we like Ye's voice. We don't know what he's saying. Yeah. So we called him up and it was like, hey, you got to like write this out, man. Let this be some words, you know, because we like you. We like you. On this, we got comfortable with your voice, hearing you. It's the way his voice sounds on that hook. And we was like, we want you to stay on there. And he's almost like, oh, I guess he was like, I'm referencing it for y'all to, you to write something and y'all, And I was like, okay, I could try to write something, but I want you to say it. And like I say, he tried that, and I guess that didn't work for him. So, he worked with Rhymefest and got it done. But, the Brenda song, man, is just it's not about a girl named Brenda. Brenda is just an idea. It's not a person. It's an idea or spirit. It's a spirit, and the song is about the spirit and spirituality and raising that. I come in the verse and say, "Spirit got my diction open, pit of fire."
Spirit of hip hop.
Yeah, it's just the spirit of hip hop, the spirit of good, the spirit of actual spirit. God inside of us. So the Brenda song is about the spirit.
Got it.
And we're labeling that spirit Brenda.
Right.
The song. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't have thought of it like that, but that's why I asked these questions, because now it gives me a enhanced understanding of the music.
You asked excellent questions, by the way.
Yes, most definitely.
Thank you. The last song on the album is entitled "I Know You." It comes across like it's sort of like a word of advice to like young cats coming up, influenced by like the glitz and the glamour of the entertainment industry, and even like aspects of the street life that may end up hurting them in the long run. Why'd you guys choose to title this song "I Know You"? And like just speak to sort of that like big brother, big sister perspective you guys have on the track.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say I'm gonna let EP talk, but on this one, I'm gonna let you speak, EP. But but Beyonce had to. No, I'm just joking. I Know You actually is because again, EP and I abstract, and it was how you say, oh, I know you, like, oh, you that type. Okay, I know you. That's what that song is like. I know you. Oh, you that type of. I know you. You that type. That's why I said. I said you. What I say? I think your
daddy should have spanked you.
Yeah, I think your dad should. You mix your loyalties with your priorities, all in the middle of it, asking why they blaming me, and I'm like, you so innocent. At least you try to be. I know the truth. You can't lie to me. You know what I mean? Like, I know you. Like, oh, you that type of mud. Okay, I know you. Like, we gotta watch you, because I know you. That's what I know you. It was about. It was almost like what can we call that? That warning. Like, watch out for this. Like,
that's why I said it felt like you guys were speaking kind of the older brother, older sister.
Yeah. We were the big sister and big brother.
I know you better watch out, but trust me, I know you.
Yeah, like I said, I seen your type before.
Yeah, I seen your type before.
Like, was that like the reason why you guys chose to have that as the last song? Does that message have anything to do with why it's placed last?
It was this way it was last in the sequence because of how it sound, how the tempo, how it sound. It was the calm down. you know, it was the moment, like if you listen to the record and how it ebbs and flows, I Know You has this mid-tempo, mid-slow tempo head nod. Like I Know You is actually moving faster than it sounds.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? It's actually moving a little faster than it sounds. But the sample that Kanye chose to chop up
It's slower.
has a slow vibe, but it's actually the drums kind of speeds it up. So we wanted to leave you more on a head nod, calm down, like okay, like because you know we brought you in with salutations, like hey, what's up? Now we're gonna leave you with an exhale. We just left you with kind of like an exhale, like
it
was
like the sound.
Yeah, it was like this.
Makes sense.
You know, yeah. So it kind of like like when you get through the album, you like okay. Like, okay, let me play that again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, back to the, you know, yeah.
Wow. Listen, it was such a pleasure being able to chat with y'all tonight. It's so much to take from this interview, and I'm gonna go back and listen to the project and really just listen to it now with what I know, right? But tell the people, like, what's next for Abstract Mindstate? Are there plans for more albums to come from y'all? Like is this reemergence or resurgence gonna offset more projects from y'all? Like, are y'all here to stay?
Hey, listen, that's up to the world.
Yeah, there you go, EP.
That's up to the world.
That was my answer. You know, it's up to y'all, man. This record was our strong hello, nothing more than that. And if y'all receive it, we got some more because you know, like
we still got songs left.
Yeah, we got songs that we recorded 27 songs for this album. So imagine how many more Kanye songs we have if we only used 11. We only used 11 of them.
Wow.
It's 14 tracks, but it's only 11 songs.
Yeah, I know, because some of them, yeah.
You know, we got the Lucas Sabat skits. You know, he did both of those skits, and then Deion Cole does the interlude. So that makes it 14, but we only have 11 songs. Yeah. So, you know, so we still got a whole album's worth of material. Yeah. You know, to continue this
dope shit.
There's really like some of the stuff that did make it. We talked about that. We was like, man, when she started, especially EP, she started naming some of the songs that wasn't on there. I was like, man, we didn't use that. You know, so we have another like really nice project.
I hope y'all put it out. I hope y'all.
It's up to y'all though. You know,
for my fandom, I hope y'all do. But yeah, I mean, I love the offering. It does set the tone for more to come. Just, you know, like I'm like, man, I want to hear more. You know, it's like 14 tracks, but it's not a long album, you know. But it does grab my attention enough to say, oh, I like what I'm hearing. And, you know, the anticipation for, you know, possibly more in the future. So yeah, man, I just want to wish y'all nothing but continued success with all that you do in your career, even if it's not related. Like and I look forward to more. You know, you want to tell people out there like where they can find you, like maybe your website, social media, like where they can get all like Abstract Mindstate related, you know, content.
For old school Abstract Mindstate, you can go to Bandcamp and listen to the whole discography, everything we ever did. Put in Abstract Mindstate, Bandcamp. We're actually streaming on every streaming network right now. The album, Dream Still Inspire. We got A Wise Tale, the video, YouTube, going nuts right now. You know what I mean? Like
we got private screens of the doc going on, and just to give you our handles, my IG handle is the same as my Twitter handle, which is Old School Ice Gree. Like you see on the screen, it's Old School _Ice Gree. And although I do have a hyphen in my name, and I love when people put my hyphen in between Ice and Gree, but you know, there's no hyphen in IG or Twitter because you can't use it. So it's cool. So my handle, to let you know how to get at me, is Old School _Ice Gree. And then the group is at just Abstract Mindstate, and EP can tell you her handle.
And mine is EP the Hellcat, EPDAHELLCAT.
Yeah. You know, as I think about it, with this is the first release on YZY Sound, right?
It is.
So
Yeah.
I'm just curious to know where YZY Sound goes from here. It's really nice. You guys set the tone really nicely. So I'm like,
Man, thank you.
I'm gonna be looking for the projects to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Much success to y'all, and I'm gonna be bumping this record, sharing it. You know, hopefully, this interview helps people to become even more acquainted. You know, with the project as well, man. But like I said, it was a pleasure talking to y'all. To all of our listeners and viewers, make sure y'all, you know, go to our website, outtheboxmedia.com. I'm gonna put the banner up again. It's outtheboxmedia.com, so you can, you know, get acquainted with all of our previous episodes. We've been doing this for I've been doing this for over 10 years, y'all. So like I have like interviews on top of interviews, and the last 2 years have been like my most consistent, like literally doing like an interview every week. So it's been a grind, but it feels good. It feels good. I like doing what I do, and I love, you know, when I come across artists like y'all, because I feel like your music is so important for the culture.
Thank you.
So,
Yes, thank you.
indeed. So we want to, you know, I'm gonna keep putting out new episodes for those listening, make sure y'all check us every Friday. We put out a new episode. You can go to the website to keep connected with all we have going on with Out the Box. And you can also find us on YouTube at Out the Box TV. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on YouTube and hit that notification bell so you can be notified. Till our next time, I want to say peace, love, and life. Thanks again to my guests. Y'all stay healthy. Y'all stay focused. We out of here.
Hey.
All right.